Hi, I'm William, the founder and winemaker for Two Shepherds Winery here in Sonoma County. We started 15 years ago in 2010, and my wife Karen joined the business as a partner in 2015 when we moved into our own production facility here, where we do everything from grapes in the door to bottles of wine out the door. We are well known for crafting classically inspired European style wines that also happen to be natural wines. So that means that they are fermented with the native indigenous yeast, made only with organic grapes that do not have any synthetics applied in the vineyard, and no additions to the wine other than a little bit of sulfur at bottling. The wine industry acts like natural wine is a new phenomenon, and it's great to see all the attention and interest, but people may not be aware that this is the way wine was made since we started winemaking 8,000 years ago, and until around World War II, when technology and innovations and products being approved to add to wine kind of saw the wine industry shift from an agricultural based craft product into resembling more and more, especially in large production, really a processed product. And then there's been some backlash against that, and thus the natural wine movement has reemerged, but it's never not been here. Contrary to natural wines, sometimes common misperceptions, which are frankly sometimes deserved, natural wines can be clean with no off flavors or aromas. They don't have to be cloudy, just careful racking is all it's needed. You don't have to filter wines to make them clear, and they can be age-worthy. Some of our wines, particularly our whites, ironically, will go a decade in the bottle and continue to show stunningly. Many producers, especially in Europe, actually make natural wine, may have for generations, but sometimes choose not to embrace the label because of the controversy that goes with that. We have found instead we would rather stand up for the movement and show that natural wine and classic wines and clean wines, none of these are mutually exclusive. Our wines are also low in alcohol, which is great, drink more. They're vegan since we don't do any fining or additions, and so there's no animal products. They're also measured in a lab to be zero sugar. And then in the production process and in lowering our carbon footprint, we use lightweight bottles, much lighter than normal, that are actually made here in Northern California, not in China, and shipped across the ocean. It's a big reduction in our carbon footprint. We also source our wine labels, corks, and other supplies, all from local manufacturers that are here within 5 miles radius of the winery, again, reducing transportation and carbon footprint. We're also well known for specializing in unusual, what I sometimes call unicorn varieties, wines you may not have heard before. Most likely one of those that we'll be pouring at Vine Wine is our Clairette Blanche, an obscure variety most of you have probably never heard of or tried. We'll also be pouring a new Grenache Noir from the esteemed Soleto Vineyard. It's our first vintage from them, which we're adding now to the Grenache that we also grow on our property as a separate bottling. And then we're pouring our 2020 Syrah, the very last vintage. The vineyard unfortunately burnt down after harvest in 2020, and we chose not to make it anymore. We're very pleased to be teaming up with Vine Wine again. In December, a portion of the proceeds of Two Shepherds Wines are donated to Healing Hearts Rescue, an organization for dogs. As you see on the end of this video, where I've grabbed some videos of a couple of our animals, we're a huge lover of animals. We have dogs and cats and pigs and goats and mini donkeys on our farm, including 2 Australian Shepherds, one of whom is a rescue. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again for my annual trip to Minnesota in December, and look forward to seeing you at Wine Vine. Cheers.